Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Heartful of Hallmark. We have 3 special guests with us today. We have Tara, Kat, and Nathan. Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
Thank you for having us. I'm never sure if the mics are going to overlap or something on here. I think we're all kind of like,
yeah, I know.
First. It's polite.
So how we will do this is we'll go into the key movie first, and for each question, we'll just go clockwise for each answer. So we'll start with Tara, Kat, and then Nathan.
Okay.
All right.
Clockwise.
I know.
Let's remember first grade math, which is hard for us Americans. I'm telling you that right now. Okay. So we're going to move into the key topic, which is Unwrapping Christmas, Mia's Prince. This movie has been... This has taken on a life of its own. I can't tell you how many people come to me about each of our interviews, and oh my God, they loved our interviews with both of you. And Nathan, they're gonna love you just as much. I gush about these 2 girls all the time. All the time. So I'm gonna let my co-host go with her questions, and then I'll ask mine.
Okay. So this one I feel like is more for the girls, though, because I love the element of sisterhood and friendship throughout the movies, and how Kat's character, you guys shared like the bracelets together, the 426. I kind of want to know for the girls, like, what was it like with you all working together and the connection that you built throughout the series?
Well, since I'm going first, I worked mostly with Kat, but obviously Kat's gonna dive into that question more. But I did see that right away there was just like, connection, and they were like, it did seem like they were from university, like they were friends from university. I got that vibe. They were like, right away it was like easy peasy. Do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, well, I find that the challenge of some of these movies is that they're shot so quickly. Sometimes you barely know the person before you're filming a scene. And I actually didn't even know that Nathan was my co-star until I arrived in my wardrobe fitting. And then I was like, okay, please, can someone tell me like who's playing Bo? And weirdly enough, Nathan was literally the vision I'd had. So when I heard his name, I was like, okay. And that's when I found out that Tara was going to be my sister as well. But yeah, because they're filmed so quickly, and there's very little rest time in between takes and setups and everything, I like to really get to know the people that I'm working with. And Tara came in with such an open heart. The same with all of the other girls on the set. We just, anytime that we had a moment, a pinch of time to get to know one another, we did. And I think that just fills the story more, because you're building trust and a relationship with these people that's only going to enrich in what you see on the screen. And I think pretty sure that our first scene with Nathan was our baking scene. And that was like, I'd already been working with Tara for 2 days, I think, at that point. And then Nathan and I rolled in on the Wednesday. And so it was that all 3 of us were getting to work together on day 3, I think. So that was great, because once you have that trust and that relationship, then it's time to play on camera, and you can find nuances and you can find special moments that, whether they make the cut or not, I think it just enriches the world itself.
Yeah. You could definitely see the bond between everybody throughout all the movies. Like, it seemed like you knew each other forever.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, very good. No. Good. Yeah, that scene that I started in on day 3 there. Our characters are already established, obviously, in the story. We have a rapport. So to come in and meet people for the first day and go, oh, hi, love interest, let's be in love.
Now we're in love. Yeah. It's crazy sometimes, but absolutely.
I think you guys nailed it, though. You had, I feel like, such good chemistry in your kiss. Yes. I feel like, I mean, maybe I'm biased because you're my fake sister, but you guys had the best. out of all the 4 movies. So.
Yeah, well, we were pretty lucky that we'd already shot our entire film before we actually got to our finale kissy scene.
Yeah.
But then we had the added pressure of having the entire cast watching us.
Yeah.
Be my, like, oh, the heart. Sadly, there was a whole storyline of a heart that was supposed to be attached to the bracelets as well, but that didn't end up making the cut. But yeah, we had this scene where we're sort of like, we're going to try it. We're going to be together. I love you. Never, like, everyone's staring at the side, full on audience of all 3 other couples plus Tara. Everyone's kind of like, so added pressure, but also it was nice in a way that we'd already worked together for the entirety of the script. And so, that trust was there. We knew each other. And yeah, from there, it was just smooch, and then the end for us.
I thought it was cool too when Nathan, the day that you came in, that we all had lunch together, and I think that was a really like poignant moment where like we really got to know who you were, and you guys were able to like riff on each other or whatever, and I just feel like we were belly laughing like the whole lunch. So it was great.
Yeah, there's nothing like bonding over subpar craft food.
It was good. I liked it.
I can't remember what we had.
I remember trying to chew through steak like I was chewing through concrete. That's
what plastic knife and fork or something, or wooden knife and fork. So you're cursed from the get-go.
Noah, did you want to ask yours before I ask my next one?
Sure.
Okay.
So leading into the kiss, you said that you shot your kiss last. So what was it like not only to be the last kiss, but what is it like as an actor with that added pressure to be the final kiss in the final scene of the entire series shot?
Well, it was the final for our film. I think it was on your last day, Nathan, but they still had to go on and shoot Ashley's movie and Natalie's after. So we were sort of, I think our kiss happened on day 2 of what was called the crossover week, which was 6 days of shooting where we crisscross into each other's worlds. I don't think anyone was present actually for Cindy and Jake's kiss. They had a nice bit of privacy, but for us, it was the added pressure of like, kiss, and then you've got entire crew, you've got dozens of background that we had that day. All of the couples, they're going like, yay, cheering at the side and everything. And I think we were actually being quite conservative to start with, because, we're sort of figuring each other out, like, what are you comfortable with? Okay, let's try this. And in fact, it was the director, Amy, that was like, why don't you come together and, add a little more? So we're like, okay. So those scenes are so strange to shoot in general, because it's very alien. It's very sort of surreal when you're like, wow, yeah, there's just a camera that's rolling and it's capturing us kissing, and like, there's no background music or anything. So yeah, they're always an interesting one to shoot. I don't know about Nathan, what he thinks.
Just background, no background music, just background noise and people shuffling around and whispering, whatever they're saying. But yeah, it definitely makes it kind of odd and weird. But at the same time, it's like it kind of felt like we had to kind of set the tone as well, because we had so many people watching and had the couples watching. And it's Hallmark, so there's always this line of not going too far and then like also giving enough, right? Because Hallmark has quite a PG rating, and so that's partly why Kat and I were just let's go, and then Amy was like, yeah, go for it. We're like, oh, okay. Hallmark, let's go.
Well, my lord, you guys were very, very sweet, and then you had Jake and Cindy. Theirs was full on, and I'm like, oh my God, Cindy, wow.
I feel like I think they shot all the kisses, because I do remember Cindy's kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Kat? Yeah, I do remember.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
she's
did it.
Right?
I wasn't in the room for some reason. I think I was still in the holding. Like it was the same day. It was the same. We did 2 days of all of the gala sequence where we're in and out of each other's worlds.
Exactly.
And Cindy and Jake had a whole bunch of other things to film where they were supposed to be arriving late to the party and everything. And I remember one of the days we were just all chilling out in we were in this old hotel and we were just hanging out in the restaurant. And so we're all just sort of telling stories. Nathan's got some amazing stories to tell. So we were just chilling out and we're like, okay, yeah, they'll let us know when they need us, kind of thing. But I didn't witness their kiss, but everyone witnessed ours pretty much. So
yeah.
I also feel like with this movie too, it portrayed storytelling very well, like going along with the book. Did you sort of feel like you were in like a fairy tale or almost like a Bridgerton type scene in some of these parts?
Yeah, I think for that film, it has to be one of my favorite scripts to have worked on. And the whole thing was very, very dreamlike. I'm so blessed when I get the opportunity to work. And then I found that characteristics of Mia were very similar to myself. I loved the romantic kind of wardrobe that they had in mind for the character itself, and the fact that she loves books. I have books. I've got a whole bookshelf right beside me here. So yes, I do. I really did love the story itself, and I think it was the character that was closest to myself. So it's a very special connection. I think I feel for that movie.
Yeah, I feel. Speaking of wardrobe, that green dress I saw on the episode. There's so Love is Blind. I don't know if anyone watches it. Guilty as charged over here. But the only couple that ends up walking down the aisle and getting married and staying married she wears the green dress.
No way.
Yes.
The green dress. That one was picked alongside another in my wardrobe fitting, and I was like, if I can, as an actor, say like, I'd like to do that dress. So please let me have that dress. You know, I was trying to kind of like, you know, push the agenda a little bit for that dress. The other one was very, very different. Like it was curls. It was very, very old, very old fashioned looking, like very 1920s. But I was kind of like, if we can, like it's kind of really Mia stepping out of her normal costumed comfort zone. But I thought it was the velvet and the costume, the wardrobe designer itself, they wanted to have different colors for the girls. So that's why, it was the red, it was the blue, it was the green, and then different textures. So tulle, I was the velvet, there was a satin itself as well. So yeah, it was, that dress was pretty spectacular. I love it.
You look like a goddess. Like, yes. Honestly, it was the Christmas dress. Like it, anyway, so I saw it on this blonde lady in Love is Blind, and I was like, my sister wore that.
Yay, it gets a resurgence. It's another opportunity to shine on the screen, the dress itself.
Nathan, you look good too.
Okay. Please.
He doesn't need to be all dressed up. He's this. This is the golden. This is the gold, the seller for him.
Well, I have one more for this film, and then we'll get into his other films, because he's had some immaculate clothes. Oh my lord, this dude has worn dream clothes. So my final question for this one is mostly for the other two. I was told that Kat brought her dogs on set for a couple of days. What was your reaction to them, and what are they like? Because I'm a dog lover.
So sweet.
Oh my god. What
Except
was
the big one barked. Evie, who's literally just over here for me right now, don't you dare. My black Labrador, she barked during one of our takes. Like, do you remember? It was like when you arrive at the house and it was like knock, knock, knock. Door opens and you hear woof, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah, well, I remember
too. My dog's interrupting the set day. So yeah, I mean, Tara, you answer. I'm biased. They're my dogs, so I love having them around with me.
Amazing.
But...
I got to meet your mom briefly as well, which was
Hmm.
a treat. She's so lovely, and yeah, her pup-ups are the best. They're so sweet. I saw them on the street by the car. I remember too, because they were coming to visit you.
Yeah,
right?
my parents had driven in, so they were going to stay with me for a few days. And so, like, truth be told, I'm like, Mom, Dad, come visit, to bring my dogs. I want my dogs, really. But yes, they came by. I think they were on set for a little bit, and then they were, once she barked, they were kind of like, okay, let's move along. But my other ones, I was lucky to be working on another Hallmark project in September to about December. And I took my little one up to Midland, Ontario, like up into the Georgian Bay Area. He came up with me for 4 days. So he didn't come to the set very often. He was sort of hanging out with the all the producers and everyone that's sort of really on the admin side of production managers and stuff. They kind of babysat him. And then he came to set on the one day. But those microphones are so sensitive that Torrance and I are filming, and they could hear him barking from the trailer up, 500 meters up the driveway. I was like, I'm sorry. But he was so sweet. He liked his little vacation. Gets to see where I go in between. I'm like, Mom's going to go work. She has to go, earn money for your lifestyle, doggies. So they like to come along.
So let's move into Nathan's movies. This is very awesome because this leads into a old style. Gilded Newport Mysteries.
Ooh.
So we are going into the old-timey realm where he plays a very different character here. What was your experience on a Hallmark mystery compared to a rom-com, and how did you get this role? Was this an offer, or did you audition for Gilded Newport?
Gilded Newport was an offer, which I'm very blessed to say thank you for. And that is like Hallmark's answer to Bridgerton. It's the Gilded era, and it's based off of a series of books. Murder at the Breakers, and Gilded Newport Mysteries, and this was Murder at the Breakers, and so there's a whole Gilded thing, and so ours sets up the story of a love triangle between my character, who goes in sort of incognito, sort of undercover, to figure out what's going on in town, and comes from a newspaper baron, and doesn't want his name to be known because then and he's a bachelor, and so then everybody, all the wives, or the wives, not the wives, all of the
for two there, Nathan.
will be harassing him, and while he's trying to be an investigator of sorts. He was hired to come and investigate a mystery in town, and so there's it sets up a love triangle between myself and name's messing with me right now, but and the lead, and then the detective in the show, and she's not quite sure who she's going to choose, because I didn't actually think I was going to take a liking to someone, but I sort of make a move, and then that's supposed to lead into some subsequent movies. But we'll see if that happens. And so the difference between this one, and like both characters that's in the rom-com with me as Prince, and then and in this one, The Gilded Newport, I'm coming from a wealthy family, so I don't know what it is out there, what I'm putting out there, but I'll take it. I like that they always want to put me in suits. I'm from wealthy family.
An aura of royalty, prestige in your background.
Okay.
I got to do some ancestry to find out where that's coming from, because people are picking up on it. And the difference, at least at this one, was my character's just sort of being introduced, so there wasn't much of a character arc. And that character arc was more based on his interest in the lead, whereas in Me as Prince, I really enjoyed the character arc with Bo because, and what I really liked about that script is that he starts off with not like quite spineless, but like not quite standing up for himself. And then over the course of the film, he starts to realize that he actually needs to be more of a man figure in the household, and then not only in his household, but then also in his own personal relationships and standing up for what he truly believes in, and going after what his heart wants. And so I really enjoyed kind of that storytelling that they did in Me as Prince. Yeah.
Well, my final one for this movie, we've been told that there's a sequel being told very, very soon. So,
before.
we were told that there's a Christmas mystery coming out. Can you confirm nor deny you've heard anything about it? Or is that what you're going on set to right now?
No, that's funny. I cannot confirm nor deny.
I know what that means.
And no, the film I'm just finishing is for a Lifetime project with Carrie Hilson and Keisha Shante.
Okay.
And so that'll be coming out in April. But there is talk of a sequel to The Gilded Newport, but timing is still sort of up in the air.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, I'd say so. I like having some good rivalry towards a love interest. It makes it really interesting.
I have a question for you. So in the Gilded movie, is it only a hand? You can only touch a hand? You can only kiss the hand? You can only show an ankle? Is that where we're at in there?
Chaperones.
Yeah, we are. We're pretty much only there. And I'm a gentleman, all right? So I'm not making any sort of fast movements, all right? I'm planting seeds.
Okay, got it.
Love it.
I have a few more films here, but since you brought up Lifetime, we both grew up with one of your co-stars. Can you tell us about Miss Coleman here?
Yeah, she's she's so much fun. That film Greed was an intense little ride, and which is also another one based off of a book, and we had the author on set as well, and she explains that was out of the series of books that she has done in that series, that was her favorite one to come to light in the adaptation. And I read the book and I was like, are they sure they cast the right dude for this? Because like the way that she wrote this guy in the book is he's right out of one of those novellas where you see on the front cover, and he's like chiseled out of limestone, and just like listening to the sun, and he's got the woman draped around him, and so I was a little intimidated when I got that role, but I was also a little bit flattered. I was like, okay, cool. I mean, if that's what you see, cool. But that one was a little bit more of an emotional ride when you fall in love with someone and they cheat on you, and that's never a fun ride. And she's cheating on me for things that are luxurious, and she's buying into all of the trips and the jewelries and the presents, all to just find out that it's all for naught, that the other dude doesn't really like her. But Miss Coleman, she's such a sweetheart. And like that set was very, very hectic set. And so in between scenes, her and I would huddle together and just kind of stay present as much as we can and let the chaos of the set do its thing, because sometimes the chaos of the set can kind of bleed into our experience, and we don't want that to taint the experience. So having me there, I think, helped her with her performance in terms of keeping each other grounded and ready to go into the next scene. Because when they're shooting these things, 1 or 2 scenes, takes, and then jump into the next set, and sometimes it's not always going according to plan. It can be uncomfortable.
Should we move on to the next film, Kirsten?
Sure.
Or...
Yeah, we can do the My Best Friend's Bouquet.
Okay.
You guys catch me off guard here. Okay.
That's why we love this, because you never know what we're gonna ask, but that's why we're gonna move into you asking us unknown questions soon, which will be a scary thing for us. But let's move into this film.
Yep, I love this film. I really like the connection between your character Alex and Josie, from being best friends and then it turning into true love. What was your favorite thing about the storyline in this movie?
The ensemble cast. We all connected. This was shot during COVID times, where people are wearing masks, and things were all quarantined, and so there's 6 of us, and so it really worked out, because at that time you could only allow 6 people per table when you were out, like at restaurants and stuff like that. And it really allowed for us to connect, because we could only have us 6 at a table if we all made it to a restaurant at the same time. And it was like we all connected in this way that we've all known each other for so many years, and that was one of the kind of the best parts about it. And the journey for, like, I don't know, we've all probably pined over someone that is totally oblivious to us, and I know that's happened to me sometimes. So like the awkwardness of like liking someone but not trying to show it, but like kind of trying to show it, because you want them to kind of like you, but you don't want to like lose the friendship because you are such great friends. And I was actually really surprised, because this was the first time Hallmark actually said okay to having a lead, like at least in my eyes, a lead character with a beard. There was like years and years and years, Hallmark was like, absolutely not. You had to be shaved. And even if I was shaved, they would come and look at my face and go, oh, no. Like, I have a little stubble. No one would have stubble on this show. And I'm like, okay. So the fact that they were able to cast me as a lead with the beard was really enriching, because it just showed that Hallmark was starting to step out of their own boundaries, starting to expand on the different worlds that are out there, that people with beards can also be, nice people. We're not all villains. Shaylee Rose is an absolute dream to work with. She's so funny, because before we do scenes, we do a rehearsal sometimes. If you're lucky, you can do a rehearsal, or you do a read for lines before you jump in the scene. And Shaylee Rose has this way about her where she just does the worst reading possible, right? Like, she just doesn't care. It's just like she's trying to get it as wrong as possible. But when the camera's going, she like nails it. And so we're just cracking up, because I don't know where this is going in the rehearsal. And I love that process, because it allowed us to kind of like let loose, get it out of the system, do things that you wouldn't actually do in the scene. And then you have that as an actor kind of sitting there and knowing that like, oh, I've done it this way. And so now if I do it the cheesy way, it doesn't feel as cheesy, because I've actually had the opportunity to explore. So I really benefited from the ridiculousness of her on set. And Casey Manderson, he's also one of the actors in there, and he's just a ball of joy and jokes. He's dancing on set. He can do the best Tom Cruise dance impression. And yeah, like that's one of my favorite hallmarks that I've done to date, hands down.
Well, since we want to have a little party here, let's move into a party movie with 3 people who we've had on the podcast and 3 very different people. Let's move into the wish swap.
Oh, wow.
So
Just like one of those like, and you're gonna meet
yeah,
Uncle, or like that show.
this movie has a life of its own. We've gotten so much love from this film. We met our 2 leads. Oh my God, Jake is amazing, and Emily. But I think our favorite person is actually probably, how to describe him, the most hearty, and Matt Hamilton. What was he like on set? And as a guy, what was like that bond as a guy on set with a Matt Hamilton who says anything he says and doesn't care what anybody thinks?
Well, funny enough, Matt and I actually didn't have any scenes in this one together, so we didn't actually get to cross paths. But Matt and I have worked together with David Tracer years ago, the Dating List, and so I actually got to work with Matt. But I know Matt, and I hung out with Matt. Matt is a breath of fresh air on set. He's an absolute gem. He's a jokester, and he's just got this ease to him where he can just tap into the ridiculousness without making it like come across like fake or unauthentic. He can make fun of you and make kind of question it at the same time. Like you're laughing, but you're questioning it, but you're like, I think you're right, bro. But like harsh. I can't wait to work with him again.
He did the same thing. We did one with Jake Foy, and we asked him the same exact question. And Jake said, let me say this how Matt would. And it was swear word after swear word, and he's the biggest just asshole in the world. And I'm like, well, okay, yeah, that's Matt Hamilton. He's the biggest guy in the world, but
he's a guy's guy for sure.
He's all of our fans come to me and ask, when can we get him on again? And I'm like, whenever he wants to come on, Matt is welcome. But I just got to get guys on here, all the guys on here, so we can just go off and riff.
I'd be careful because like Matt is like he's got no filter. Wait till you meet him. He has no filter, but you love him because of it. Yeah, absolutely.
The outtakes must be fun.
Oh God.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We get to have a little bit more extra takes with Matt, that's for sure.
So if he doesn't like the take how it's going, just drops a swear word in there. It's like, oh, sorry, you have to redo it now.
The very first take that I had to do for me as Prince, I dropped I'm making crap in the kitchen and I dropped something and I'm like, oh shoot. And they were like, don't say shoot. Don't say shoot. I was like, ah! I was like, I was like, oh no. I'm like, okay. I'm like, remember that, because it's Hallmark.
Yeah, not even the sort of the PG words, because it's still indicating what you think it's indicating. So it's just sort of just gloss over it. Just don't say it. Don't react. Don't do anything.
Because they were just like ad-lib stuff, do stuff. I was like, okay, and then it fell, and I'm like, shoot. No. I was like, ah. I was like, oh, I hope piece, but of course, you know, I had you, but wow, like it was just, yeah, it was a great experience. You were so giving, like seriously, Kat, it was amazing. And I really appreciate it. It was like my first Hallmark, and I felt like a new girl, you know, newbie. So it was great to help.
Yeah, Kat, you're so generous on set. So generous.
Oh, you're so sweet. It's because the time frame that you have is so small and so short that, you know, sometimes in my earlier days, I remember the nerves, and you just have to sort of like go, put it aside, and I don't know, compartmentalize your brain, and just, I always say, get out of your own way, because they've hired you for a reason, that you brought some kind of, energy to the audition, to the piece, to the part itself. And so, yeah, even though there's so much going on, and the, lighting and rigging, and, they're setting up tracking and everything itself, it's just lock into the person that you're working with, and just have that trust, and know that there's, you can try to, just do as best as you can with the given time that you have. Give the performance that you want. They'll guide you if it's not quite right. But just live in that, and just be open-hearted, I think, is one of the key things to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And count yourself lucky there, Tyler, that you got to come in with a number one like Kat, because the number one certainly sets the tone for the production and for the set. And so when you have a number one as heartwarming and generous as Kat, it makes the whole process so much more fun and enjoyable. You kind of it's like having cast members like yourself, co-stars like yourself. It's just like I'm not even working, like I'm out here having fun. It's great.
Because it's magic at the end of the day. I'm blessed. You have to pinch yourself sometimes throughout the day, and I'm like, whoa. Yeah. There's a lot of pressures that that you've got a production that's kind of on your shoulders, and you're like, I've been picked, like somebody saw something at the executive level, and then it's just sort of compartmentalizing that, and just connecting with the people that you have just a sliver of time to be with, to get to know, to understand their humanity. And so coming in, and I like to make everyone feel comfortable, because I think throughout my experiences before, I've had that presented to me. So it's sort of how I like to move forward. And I have heard that term before, like the tone is set by like the number one and number two. And so I was like, I like to have fun. And when it comes down to it, we'll get it done. To the point that I've had directors be like, this is a serious scene coming up. I'm like, no worries, I'll do it. Like, kind of thing. I think they think I'm too much of a joker, that they're like, I don't know if she's quite going to click that this is supposed to be an emotional moment. But I'm like, I'll do it. Don't worry, I can
do it. It was great. And I feel like that lunch too, because we had that scene together where I have to be kind of not that nice. I'm not going, I'm not having a great day. And then you guys are having like the best date. You're like making stuff, and you're all like, ooh, let me get this off your nose. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
And I like kind of, but it was really cool to like laugh with you guys and like get to know you guys, so that we could go in and like do that. Because that scene is like one of the funniest scenes in the movie.
Yeah. I actually loved how they cuss it. In the end, I mean, Darcy, my hair guy, he was not pleased about the amount of flour that was being found in my head, because we were just sort of going for it. And I think Amy, a couple times, our director, had to yell like, and cut, before we started to like really pound each other with flour. Because they were like, resets, we've got to do the resets. Like, let's just make sure we get this angle, and we'll do this, and then go for it, kind of thing. But I think it ended up working out really, really well. And then it's that dynamic as well of the storyline, right? Like, we're in that moment of having so much fun, and then it's sort of like boom, seriousness comes in, because Ashlyn's coming in, and she's not having the best day, the best period of her life. So it's sort of, it's that guilt factor of Mia being like, I'm having so much fun, but I'm concerned for my sister. And so just the dynamics of storytelling.
Yeah, it came off so real, authentic. It was just such a special, I think the movie was so special. It was it came off very real. Grounded.
I think we had a very special one. The script was great. And then just, I mean, working with beautiful humans like yourselves, and then you throw in Lynette Ware as well, who played Claire Kavanagh. I mean,
Crazy.
and with like Amy as director as well. I think we were just like meant to kind of soar with that one.
Yeah, Lynette's presence is just unwavering. Like the way she can command the scene just by a look. I was like, I was in school. I was like, I had to go to the video village and just watch her just rip you apart with her eyes. And I was blown away by her performance. And now, like, I'm just always like looking, what else is Lynette doing out there? Like, I need to see. Like, she's so compelling to watch. Yeah, we got very lucky with our cast.
Yeah, I call her a goddess. So she was a Hallmark show that I did, The Wedding Planners, a few years ago, or Hallmark Style. It wasn't Hallmark Channel itself. That was the first time I ever met her, and I was watching her do a scene with who was it? Sue Murray. I'm forgetting. She's got like a triple barrel name. But I was watching her work, and I was just like, oh, who is this goddess? And yet she is the sweetest, most generous human as well. And she knows her stuff. She's been in the industry since she was teeny weeny, and she knows her stuff. And that you would think would be intimidating sometimes, or you would only hope that someone would give you just like, a little bit of their wisdom. But she's just full of love, and she's so generous with that as well. And yeah, she's a comfort to work with. And then she played my boss in another film. So I've had a couple times that I've worked with Lynette. She also, I found out during my wardrobe fizzing, was in the movie. I was like, who's Claire? And they're like, Lynette Ware. I was like, okay, goddess. Perfect.
That wardrobe fitting was like everything.
I know.
All the details.
Right. I remember when my agent phoned me and said this is the offer. This is sort of the rundown. I knew the girls. I knew who the girls were. They were like Cindy Busby, Ashley Newborough, Natalie Hall. I knew of Ashley. I knew Cindy, of course, by like face and just her sheer exposure in the industry. And I knew of Natalie as well. Like we've had actors crisscross paths. But I didn't know about my own film until my wardrobe fizzing like 2 days out from camera. And then I'm like, aha, now I know. So yeah, there was, was it Richard, I think, was like the wardrobe assistant. He was full of intrigue for me. I got a whole lot of intrigue out of that one. I was like, aha, now I know.
Like Lynette was so sweet to everyone. She was super cool, and like we had some great conversations. Like she's really down to earth, for sure.
And we found out about this film series way before anybody else did, because the little birdie spilled it right before we interviewed him. Max McGuire said, we just got this series shooting, and I'm like, you just can't shove that in there, Max. You know, more details. And he says, well, what do you want to know? I'm like, the lead actresses. And he goes, okay, yada, yada, yada. And then he stopped there, and I'm like, you're not going to tell me the guys? Really? That's not fair. So we knew about those four leads.
I wonder if that was even before I did. When did you find out?
Yeah, probably.
He shot Cindy's.
Yeah, in May, I think the May, and then I was in after.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I started, when did we start? May 27th or something? Very end of May, and then we were until mid-June.
Yeah.
It was a crossover week.
Yeah, it was around May, June.
So I wonder what that is, because I knew I had the offer before I went to the UK to film a project. So I was like, oh, cool, yay, I'm employed kind of thing. Until it was like, that's great, I'm working kind of thing. So I knew, it must have been April. Oh my gosh, it's nearly a year ago. I think I knew very early April is when I was like, cool, groovy, I'm going to the UK, and then I'll be back, and then back to, Ottawa and stuff. So that's so cool. Of course, Maxwell. Max like, yeah.
we found out, and we're like, we feel special. We felt very special. Nobody else knew. And Cindy went, how did you know I'm filming? I'm like, Max. And she looked and she went, That explains it. That
Yeah.
crazy dude. God love you, Max, but
that's kind of it. Is that how do you know, Max? Right, of course, Max.
Yeah. So, would you guys like to have a little bit of fun?
Always.
Sure.
Okay. Did you want to do the this or that, or did you want to ask us some questions first?
Oh, what's this or that? I'm intrigued.
We have like
we have to pick between.
Yeah, you can pick between the two.
Oh, ooh.
I'm down for some this or that.
Okay. So
if you guys are, sorry, I'm totally commandeering this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I only got 2 minutes left, so yeah.
Okay, here we go. Would you rather film a movie in the winter or in the summer?
Summer.
Yeah, the summer. We're shooting winter movies in the summer.
I would rather be too hot and drinking a lot of water to cool down than too cold and trying to warm back up. From experience myself, I would rather be summer. Summer.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Summer. I vote summer. You're right.
Yeah.
All I do is shoot in the summer, so I'm down to shoot a winter one now.
Come to Toronto. Come to Ontario. Come back.
Yeah, it's
minus 17 with wind chill. Come on.
Except for Toronto.
We're getting an ice storm. We should be getting an ice storm any minute now. So come on.
You can keep that up there. We're happy down here in almost
like spring.
Spring here in Northeast is 32 degrees. So all right, so
I've got to calculate. I'm Celsius. Sorry, like Fahrenheit over my head.
I just pretended. I was like, yes.
I should have gone with that, right?
Would you rather be surprised with who your co-star is on set or find out before shooting?
Find out before.
Yeah. Well, I was almost the first one because I didn't know until I asked. I'm like, who's going to tell me? Who's going to tell me who my co-star is? I think I'd rather know before. But sometimes with the smaller roles, we don't know. I mean, I've been experiencing that I don't know until we get the call sheet. And they'll be like, oh, who's playing Brendan? Oh, okay, this person. And then I research them and I'm like, see who I might have worked with, if we've worked together before, or if we have connections and stuff like that. And then I like to, when they come onto set, I like to address them by their name, and be like, hi, Rick, or, whatever. Because it's that intimidation of you're coming in to already an established working relationship with people on set. So if you're just daily or you're coming in towards the end of the shoot, it can feel like you can feel very much like an outsider. So
I did it first, but then right away I got into the fold. You were, again, very gracious and it was like just laughing and then you're giving me advice. So yeah, I think that's really great because like if we get like frosty vibes, then it's hard.
It's so much harder to pull that.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be the best acting of your life. They see it as like a challenge, but rather than have a challenge, why not have like a nice, fun working environment and just find more nuances and more naturalism within the relationship than having to force something.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's my thinking.
Would you rather film a movie in the US or in Canada?
Is this like pre or post Trump?
Let's say we're post the devil.
Because like I'll shoot anywhere. I'm not biased, but I would love to shoot in the States. Actually, anywhere that I've never been. So I'm either or.
Yeah, I agree. Like, yeah, I'm either or. Being on location is fun. Like, I'm determined to get to Vancouver to get into the BC market. Like, Nathan, get me in over there. That's the early goal. But yeah, working on location is always fun. And so if something came up with maybe orange pumpkin and that's sort of at times, but
I'm the same. I haven't been, I want to shoot in Vancouver. I haven't done that yet. And I have family there. I want to have an excuse to go see them, do the work. You know, it's so gorgeous out west. And I think we just have so much amazing resources in Canada. And it's just so gorgeous. And like the Northwest Territories, like stuff like that. I'd love to do like thriller and action up there or something like crazy, or like a This Is Us, like zombie apocalypse stuff.
Yeah, Newfoundland as well, like Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, they have a lot of productions as well. So I'm just waiting. I'm like, come on, get me out of Ontario, break me out.
Get a nice like happy medium, because it's like it's kind of Canada, but it's kind of the U.S. You know.
Would you rather watch a rom-com or read a rom-com?
Probably watch a rom-com. I can't read.
Yeah, probably watch as well. It's hard because there's just so much to absorb in with reading a script. I assume that they mean a script, right? Because you'll have actions and, you know, they'll be like, oh, enter so-and-so, and they'll have such a long description of this character that's supposed to enter the scene that you're like, I feel that takes you out of it a lot versus like when you watch it, you can see, I like to analyze for actors' choices. I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Oh, they went with that. Or, you know, so yeah, watch. Always chance to do some research.
Yeah, I would say watch too, because I want to see any of my, you know, people, my colleagues. I want to see them doing their thing. So yeah.
These are two films that all actors love to do, but Kat, we're going to get into in just a little bit. Would you rather film a royal movie or a cooking movie?
Royal. If it's got the sets and the costumes, and I was very lucky last year to work on one in England, and so it was, you know, I'm walking around this estate going like, you don't even need the set deck. Stick a Christmas tree in the corner. Like the room and the art and everything spoke for itself. So yeah, love a royal film just for the sumptuousness of like the wardrobe, the sets,
like
tiaras.
And you shot in your hometown, yeah?
No, I was in Bournemouth, which is on the south coast. But it was only about 40 miles from where I'm actually from. And I had gone to Bournemouth when I was a kid as well. And so it was quite full circle going back and filming there itself. I went there with my grandma, who was one of the biggest fans of my brother and myself doing theater and everything when we were like teeny weeny. And she unfortunately passed away over 20 years ago now, but it felt full circle that I was there. And I'm like, wow, Nanny, I'm here, but I'm working in, you know, the industry that I always dreamt of going into. So it was pretty cool for that.
That's really sweet. Oh my goodness.
It's my own version of what was our grandma's name in the film?
Oh, our grandma.
Was it just Granny?
Grandma.
Was it just Grandma?
I think
I feel so bad. I mean, it wasn't a real person. I mean, it's a generated person.
I know what it looks like. I remember the picture. I remember like they took a picture of you when you were younger, and then they put together that. I remember that.
The picture itself had been a photo of me with my grandpa, my dad's dad, who's Jamaican Cuban, and then I guess they kind of do a switch, and I don't know. We just show up on set, and I'm like, oh, cool! I got Granny.
Did you get that? Did you take that with you?
No, not that photo. Not the set one.
But yeah, grandmas are the best.
Yeah. Sorry, I totally hijacked that conversation. It was royal or cooking. I just did a cooking movie, and I'm not a chef, and the director kept laughing at my cutting skills. Don't laugh. Stop. That was bad. But it should be fun. Hopefully, I'm like, just insert someone else's hands, please.
Nice of you, because you know you're giving another actor some work. So, right?
Good point. Yeah, exactly. Oh, this is a good one.
Would you rather become a regular on Heartland or When Calls the Heart?
Heartland. I'd do Heartland for sure. Get to be around the be a cowboy or something.
Yeah, I mean, Nathan comes from a horse riding background. Like his grandfather owned a farm in Alberta, and we had conversation. I think it's one of the first conversations we had because I was a horse rider as well, growing up. So I was like, I would love the opportunity. I mean, we got to work on a farm. We went to that beautiful stable for Unwrapping Christmas, and this one he got to ride a horse. They brought in a stunt double, and then they were like, well, Nathan rides himself, so he got to get on that gorgeous Bugatti. His name was Bugatti horse. So I don't know. I would be blessed to do either, because you could either, I mean, I would love the period costumes of When Calls the Heart, but then you could be like, yeah, cowboy. Like, you get far more action with the horse in Heartland.
Yeah, it's a little grittier.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Let's manifest both out there.
Okay.
Tara, what about you? Would you do both?
Yeah, I love horseback riding, the whole thing too. So I'm
sure this was one of our conversations at our first lunch was about horse riding.
We love it.
We owned a farm. I was a horse rider. Tara was a horse rider. We were all like reminiscing about that.
Also, I loved your outfits. Again, back to the wardrobe, like the outfits in the stable scene. Love.
Yes, that was fun. I mean, wearing white is a very precarious color to have working around horses, because then we know we're going to say hi to all of these beautiful horses on set, and then you look and your hand is black, and I'm like, I should go wash this before I end up getting it on my wardrobe. My other dog's in my room now. Sorry, I had to step out when Nathan was talking, is because my dog started to do a chorus over here because it's her dinner time. So I was like, okay, get out, go and eat. And then my other little one's in now. Hello.
Can we see her?
Yeah, this one is Teddy. Oh God, he's like karate chopped my. What did you do? You nearly killed my curtain. So yeah, he's in here now.
Aww.
Go lie down.
So sweet.
Okay, pardon me.
All right, I think I gotta leave y'all here.
No
Love
problem, Nathan.
you.
Thank you, Nate.
So lovely seeing you. I miss you. Come back to Ontario, or maybe we'll come out to BC.
It might. I just auditioned for like 5 projects that shoot out there this week, so we'll see if any of them come out in like Parry Sound, some out in Ontario. Yeah. So.
Oh, Parry Sound.
I
think I know. Stuff. Wicked. I wonder if the Parry Sound one is one that I might have auditioned for.
Oh, that would be fun.
Oh, really?
Manifesting right now live.
I mean, Parry Sound, I'll take it, but like Vancouver.
Vancouver.
Well, have a lovely time on set. Miss you.
Thanks for coming on.
Got it. Oh, thank you, and we'll do it again sometime. It's a pleasure.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Okay. Good one. Enjoy.
And now I'm the only guy, but it's okay. I'm used to it. We did Becky. We've done Jake. Jake was the only one that I did where it was the only actor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this was a refreshing just for me, because I never get to talk to any of the males. So this was great for me. This was just pure joy for me. I love it. So let's move on to the next ones. Okay. Would you rather be in a Star Wars movie or a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie?
Whoa.
Star Wars, I think.
I mean, it's tough because being in the Marvel world, though, that's fun too. I don't know. These are too hard. Can we have both? We do.
Yeah, of course.
Have the both
of course.
I love that. Both worlds are great.
Well, what's the first thing you go for at the craft table?
That's a great question.
Oh, it depends. If I'm feeling like, if I'm a few days into shooting, because the shoot days are so long and you're burning so many calories, and I eat like a horse when I'm working on set, but I'm also losing weight at the same time. I'll sometimes go for the Rice Krispie squares. And they're just like, oh, they're so addictive. Like once I start, I'll have 3. So I avoid the craft table more so because I know that there's Rice Krispie squares, but we also have an amazing, her name's Rhonda, who works with Fireside Pictures. And she'll walk around and she keeps us healthy on set. She'll walk around and be like, raspberries. And I'm like, Rhonda, thank you. So she saved me a lot from the Rice Krispie squares on Unwrapping Christmas. So she comes around and keeps us healthy and wholesome. So.
Yeah, I remember she'd come around. Oh man, I love that. And she'd have little containers. Yeah, so you just like a little tiny serving, so you didn't feel like, where it was like, oh, this is a lot of food. It was just like,
if there was something like, I don't know, lentil curry, she'd come around with gum.
Yeah, that's true. She was
so considerate.
Solving problems. It was amazing. Solving our tummy problems, like hungry.
Breath problems, like she had us.
Yeah.
Would you rather film a Hallmark mystery or a Hallmark rom-com?
Ooh. What do you say, Kat?
Most of mine has been the rom-com, so I would be down for a mystery.
Ooh.
But that was actually, I didn't know that Nathan had that Gilded Age one coming out, so I'm intrigued. I'm like,
it's such a good movie.
Gilded Age.
It's so good. It's so good and so charming, but man, you feel all the way back in what was that, the 1890s, I think it was?
Yeah, it's like Bridgerton, but a mystery.
Love that. I'm into it. Yes, the costume.
Love it. Yeah. I think if I could be in that one, then yes, absolutely a mystery. But I'm also intrigued to see how the acting style is different from the rom-com. Yeah. So I would be intrigued to learn what the differences are.
A little bit of a challenge.
Yeah. Challenge the old brain there to kind of adapt where I have to.
Yeah, I say mystery because I love a good mystery. I love trying to figure it out. And even like I actually a long time ago I auditioned to be on this, like, Oprah has like a channel, the Oprah Network. So there was like a TV show that was like an amateur sleuth. And so like where you solve a thing. It only went through 1 season. I almost made it, but then they ended up going with other people. But I had to get asked questions. Like they gave me pictures like of real crimes, and I like got every one. Oh yeah, like I'm
like identifying which crime it came from, or trying.
Yes, exactly. So like there was this picture of like the Black Dahlia, like just like some, and I knew it. I was like, that's Black Dahlia. That's this. That's that. They were like, oh my gosh. So yeah, so I love a good mystery, and so I think Hallmark mystery. Yeah.
Fun.
Just saying, in case you need any investigative work.
Would you rather sing in a movie or be serenaded by your co-star?
Sing. It's been a while, but I was a singer. I am a singer.
What? We didn't talk about that. That's fun.
A lot of musicals. I did a lot of musicals growing up, so I'm more musical theater style of voice.
Yes. I knew you were theater, but I didn't know like the musical stuff.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, my brother and I were both. So I'd have to, I mean, it's hard when you live in, downtown Toronto and you don't want people to think you're crazy by like bursting out into song to practice or to do, scales and everything. So I try to do it at the gym sometimes, but always whenever I'm like mid-sentence and obviously, I don't know, singing like say something from Hamilton, someone walks in the room. So it's like, and like, make an awkward stretch because I'm not singing. What do you mean? It's your headphones.
Alexander, what?
Someone would understand as well if they were like, were you singing? I could say, yeah, I'm an actor. And they'd be like, oh, okay. But I just don't ever want to get into that position where someone's saying, are you singing? No? What? You're singing. So singing. Yes, I would do singing. Would you be serenaded or would you sing?
I would like to be serenaded, I think.
Lovely.
By
me.
Of course. Come on now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Love that.
I was a singer too. in high school, I was a part of a show choir, a touring choir, which was
Wow.
fun. We went to the Carolinas and we performed a 40 show. We went to Broadway and we sang for the first responders at the 9/11 firehouses there.
Oh wow.
That's so cool.
And then my favorite one, it was so damn hot. Oh my God, 95 degrees in Cleveland, Ohio, on Memorial Day, at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, doing Grease.
What?
Wow.
Grease?
And
Wait. Wow.
Grease. And
Very cool.
my hair was all greased up, white t-shirt, black jacket, and I'm like, if this isn't done in 5 minutes, 5 minutes, and they went and go, and I'm like, okay, in character. It's hard in hell. But, oh my God, I would love to sing. I don't sing anymore, but God, I love
It's still there. It's just it's an instrument, right? Your voice, so you have to work on it. So I'm at the point that I would have to like work back up to singing how I did when I was at theater school, kind of thing.
Every night in the shower. No.
Yes.
You can practice. You can practice serenading Kirsten.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would definitely rather be serenaded than have to sing.
We're gonna have to get you to sing soon. I know some people who might be able to find me a video of you singing.
Oh gosh.
There's something somewhere, I swear.
Maybe.
Let's see. Oh, this is a good one.
Ooh, okay. Would you rather binge your favorite TV show or binge your favorite movies?
I mean, favorite TV shows would be a 3-day marathon, because I have to say Succession is one of my favorite TV shows.
Oh, Succession. Yeah.
So
It would-
good.
It would take you a while to go through that for sure.
Right?
Like, seasons
I have been watching them, and I'm on season 4, episode
Oh, you finished it.
5.
Mm.
So that would be a good 3 days with no bathroom breaks, I think, to watch all seasons.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I love that.
Oh,
I love that you got in Succession later. I did too. I watched it in the summer, like in August.
Oh, no, I
Yeah.
watched them as the seasons went, but I rewatched. I went back from the beginning and then rewatched, and I'm on, season 4. So I know how everything ended,
Oh,
because
okay.
I was watching them at the time when they were coming out. But, I don't know. I think I like binging both.
Yeah.
That's
My favorite films, right?
Yeah. I can rewatch movies over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Like, no problem. I mean, Princess Bride, I probably know by heart. I mean, who doesn't, right? Hopefully, if you like good movies, because that's a great movie. But I also I am a binger too, because The White Lotus, I've been watching season 3, and I've been literally watching like episode 1, season 3. Like, I'll watch that like 5 times too. Because I'm waiting for the next one, and I'm just like, maybe I'll see clues, because that's kind of mystery too.
Oh, smart. Yeah, I mean, there are people that are theorizing about like stuff that comes up, and I'm like, oh, theories, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So there are like little patches of like clues that Mike White throws in along
Maybe.
the White Lotus way.
Yes, because then when you finish watching one season, then you find out who dies. Then you can see, it was right in front of your face. So then,
so there's something about a dress. There's a dress that Jennifer Coolidge wears in season 2. But it's featured somewhere else in season 1, early season. I saw that theory.
Yeah, so in season 2, they go to the Godfather set. And then the Apollonia or whatever, the lady, she's so in the car, she's wearing that. And then Tanya McQuad at the end, at the last episode, she's wearing the same dress. And then
Oh,
it's a really scary obsession. Like I literally probably watched like episode 1 of this season like way too many times to like admit. So
no, it's pretty good stuff. I'm like, countdown to Sunday. The next episode airs.
That was her every Friday with The Way Home. We would do any podcast, and we'd talk and write at like what 5 till 8.
I know, like right before, like, no.
Oh, she hated to, but that's a family event. That is a full religion. Is that show? Oh my Lord! Oh, but it's so good. It's so. I just started it and I'm hooked, and I'm so mad at her for that. I'm so mad at her.
And now we have to wait until January for the new season.
Yeah, thanks.
Eating.
That's the worst.
Excruciating.
It's the worst.
I have a question though.
Yeah.
How did you guys start doing this podcast? Like, how did it come together with you guys?
Do you want to go first, Noah?
Did you want me to tell it, or you, Kirsten? That's up to you.
Okay. Well, I think it was because of the Romance U. So I don't know if you know Benjamin Ayers, but he does Hallmark movies, and he started Romance U, where he like sells different merch and stuff that's related to the movies and different things. And we both were followers on there, and then we started messaging on there. We came up with the idea of doing the podcast because we were like, it'd be nice to like actually work with like the actors, see what they love about the movies, since we're such big fans. So then that's kind of how it started.
Oh, I love that. That's really cool. That's very organic, and it's just, you know, especially when you love it, because it's just seems very genuine that you really watch the movie, really love watching it, and it comes across.
Yeah.
Every single day, we're like, who can we get on the podcast? What are we gonna do next? Every single day, and we were so scared of this podcast. We've never had 3 actors before. And we're like, what are we gonna ask? What should we do? What's the format? And we're like, hell, just go for it. Go for it. So speaking of going for it, let's get into a new question for Kathryn and Tara. What was your first celebrity crush?
Oh my god! Oh my gosh! Let's see. Who was yours? Oh my gosh, Kat.
I mean, there were characters. Sometimes there was an actor that I loved for a single performance.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So like, I loved The Mummy growing up. I wanted to be like Evie. That's why my dog's name is Evie. It's named after that film. I know I'm a loser. But, you know, she was a librarian and she loves history, and that's always something that I was intrigued. I still want to go to Egypt. You know, it's on my bucket list of places I want to go in Africa. So Brendan Fraser in the first film was like a crush of mine. Like, Rick O'Connell, come and rescue me, please. Damsel in distress. But I mean, I can kick butt too. But you know, it would be helpful if I had a Rick O'Connell. But even that just the wardrobe of that the wardrobe of the film, like the sets. I worked in Morocco.
Amazing.
Rachel Weisz, the first thing I ever saw her in. And you know, she was one of my idols for several years growing up. So I feel like I had others preceding that, but none. I mean, it's Brendan Fraser in that role. Rick O'Connell. Please show a picture so that everyone's not like Brendan Fraser.
You know what I mean? Mummy, the first Mummy, yeah,
the
totally.
First Mummy.
I mean, no slight.
But also like George of the Jungle, like, you know, gorgeous man.
Yeah,
and Canadian as well, Canadian. So you know,
I didn't know Brendan Fraser. Really? Oh, that's fun. Okay, so my first celebrity crush was Superman, but Christopher Reeve's Superman.
Oh, classic.
I loved him, and I remember telling my mom that I was like, I love Christopher Reeve. Like, I love Superman. That was my like I don't know. He was wonderful. He was wonderful as Superman. I love his version of it. Yeah, that's it. I mean, who wouldn't want a superstar? Like, he was a superhero. Yeah. And my first, it was a superhero. So
I grew up with the film Somewhere in Time with Jane Seymour, who, you know, there we go, Brendan Fraser. Thank you so much. In case anyone listening thinks, okay.
Sweater. What was that? It was like will you put up Christopher Reeves just in case? Because I knew there was the Reeves Superman.
Christopher Reeves without a shirt. No.
Who was
I always thought he was beautiful in Somewhere in Time, which came out in the very, very early 80s, maybe late 70s with Jane Seymour. And that was a period one. and he's beautiful in that. And the soundtrack of the film is really epic as well. So
yeah, I love that. Yeah, I also, the scene in Niagara Falls, it was so cool because I had been to Niagara Falls. So it's like, right when you see the scene in the like Superman and with Lois Lane, Margot Kidder, and like, oh yeah, look at those chiseled features.
look at that little curl at the front.
Who is the best Superman? I'm sorry, you cannot corrupt his
the best.
Right?
Yeah.
The way he portrayed it was the best, like hands down.
Yeah.
Who was yours? Your crushes?
Oh, mine is probably Chad Michael Murray because I kind of like all his movies and like Another Cinderella Story. And then I was so intimidated when I met him in person. I got to meet him at Christmas Con where they bring like different Hallmark stars. And I was so nervous. And he was like one of the most kind people that I ever met. And he talked to me for like 10 minutes. And he had this long line and he just kept going on and on about movies. He's like, yeah. With Hilary Duff. He was
I remember like Chad Michael Murray, and he's really big in the Hallmark world, and then he's got Sullivan's Crossing as well. So he's having quite a resurgence in like his original fan base of when he was like, you know, young, but then I think he's got younger ladies interested in him too. He's just a gorgeous man.
He's crushing it. He's literally crushing it.
He is.
What about you?
Mine was Candace Cameron Bure.
Oh, okay. Yep, I can see that. Yep.
DJ Tanner.
Good old DJ.
Hands down. Well, my mom told me that when I was 6 months old, the only time I was still, she'd put me in, I think she said it was a bouncer. And that show, Full House, was on TBS every day for 4 hours straight. And she'd set me there, and I was silent.
Just bouncing.
She was on the screen. And then immediately afterwards, wham! And I'm like, okay, cool.
So interesting. Oh, my gosh.
What do we have next? Oh, here we go. Who's some Hallmark stars you'd like to do a movie with?
There's a few. Marcus Rosner, because I admire him because he's also a producer and has his own production company too. Andrew Walker, Jonathan Bennett, just because I think he looks so sweet. He just seems like such a lovely human. Hunter King, I think I've said before because I just think she's a doll. Neil Bledsoe, even though he's doing Othello on Broadway right now, I would love to work with Neil Bledsoe again. He was lovely, just gracious. Again, going back to early experiences working on a Hallmark set, he's doing like the long days, and it was just a scene where I'm supposed to have a phone call conversation with him, and he stayed behind to read his lines instead of working with an assistant director. You know, he read the lines for me, and I was very touched by that. Like, he didn't have to. He was in his hotel. You know, he could have gone back upstairs where his room was, because we were filming in the lobby and everything. And no, he wanted to stay and offer me the support. So plus, he's just lovely to talk to. I hung out with him a lot on set.
That's amazing to hear that, because I feel like that's you or him with me, because like we had long days on set and you were just like okay with running lines, because I know you don't necessarily have to, but I was kind of nervous and all the things, and you were just super gracious and you were like, no problem, we can run lines. I'm like, okay, thank you. You know, and like,
anytime it helps me get them cemented into the head as well, because
that's true too, but still, like, you don't have to, and like you did, and you like, so whatever, you were just the best. Seriously, it was like, it was like, I just got so lucky.
You made work easy, because we're just like immediately we had that sisterhood, they trust and everything. So I was like, let's roll.
Let's do this. We got this. Yeah.
I hijacked that one. Do you have any actors that pop to mind?
You talking to me?
Yeah. Because any Hallmark actors that you'd like to team up with?
Yeah, I mean, obviously anyone that you like, I'll go with. I don't know. I mean, Lacey Chabert.
Oh yeah.
Seems like super kind and fun and like easy to work with, like that girl. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, whatever you say, because I trust your recos. So I don't know.
Cool. What are some of your favorite Christmas movies?
Well, there's some weird ones. I don't know if it's growing up in the UK. For some reason, Jurassic Park is a Christmas film.
Okay.
And The Great Escape.
Okay.
I don't know why. I think they're just on television every year at Christmas. And I love Jurassic Park. It's so good. I'll watch it anytime it's on TV. But yeah, not Christmas themed whatsoever, but it's always on the telly.
That's kind of like Die Hard in the US.
Yeah.
Yeah, every year. And
I don't get Die Hard. I do not get that film. My cousin in the UK would be very, very upset. She's like, "You've never seen Die Hard?" I'm like, "I tried. I really did." But I mean, what do I know? I don't know. I think because it's the time period it was made in, there's some stereotypes that I see within the structure of the story, which I found archaic. So I was like, I'm finding it hard to kind of
you gotta
connect, you know.
You gotta suspend your disbelief for it, but I don't know, like it definitely took place at Christmas, and like he's going to see his ex-wife, or they're estranged. Actually, they're not because they get back together at the end. Spoiler alert, as if anyone hadn't seen. But yes, because he has this giant teddy bear with a bow for the kids, so it's definitely like it was on Christmas, and then and then it was a Christmas party. That's what it was.
Yeah,
at her like fancy
the tower, right?
Yeah, at her like office, and he didn't. Yeah, so that's why. But I don't know. It's a classic Christmas movie. I like it.
I love Muppets Christmas Carol.
Aww.
Yeah.
I'll watch that every year
Muppets.
for the singing fruit.
Oh my god. I like Just Friends. Do you guys remember that movie?
Yeah.
Oh, Just Friends.
Yes.
I just watched that last night. It was
right.
literally
How ironic. Is that Christmas themed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh
I
my
haven't
god.
seen it.
You haven't seen it? Oh my god, let's see
this movie.
It's hilarious. So Ryan Reynolds, this is when he was like really, really funny, and he wasn't married yet and all that stuff. But like he like, I don't know, it's basically him in high school at the beginning. And then he's like an ugly duckling swan vibe.
Okay.
But then he ends up being mean because he ends up being so like, handsome and all that. And then but anyway, it's just amazing. And then he has to go back to his old town. But then Anna Faris. Oh my god. Anna Faris is she like steals the show.
She's so good at comedy.
She goes all out.
You would just laugh for Anna Faris. Seriously, Kat, you have to like. It's hilarious. It's hysterical. Like you cry, laugh. Like
I'll check it out. I know the cast. I even remember the movie poster from when it came out, but I just never ended up watching it.
It's so good. He ends up being an agent. He's a music agent to this like really shitty pop star.
Okay.
Can I say shitty?
Yeah. Yep.
See, now I'm like,
shoot.
I'm like,
shoot.
Shoot.
So,
shoot.
Yeah, so he's the agent. He's the manager of Anna Faris, who's the worst pop star. You're like honestly in tears. Like she's just such a comedian. Like she's amazing, right?
Love it. I'll have to watch that. I'm gonna try and find it.
Yeah.
Sure, it's on some kind of streaming app somewhere.
It's probably on Tubi or something.
Yeah.
Probably. Could be. And my final question for this or that. And this is a joke, but who's the best host? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Who is the best host here? I'm joking. I'm kidding. We all know the answer. We all know the answer. It's okay. We all know the answer.
Aww,
love
you.
Well, we did with a few of the questions. We were like, can we have both? So
Yeah.
there you go. I'm going with that option. Both.
Oh,
It's a
that's why we
tie.
love
Yeah.
But I think it's time for us to take a break of asking them questions.
Okay.
Do you have any questions for us that you want to ask us? This is a free-for-all, anything goes, and we are completely honest here, within reason. If you're asking for cash, I'm broke.
Maybe. Do you have a favorite film, like a Hallmark film of like the last year? Like, if you had to pick one, you're only allowed one film of like maybe the last year, and you do not have to pick Unwrapping Christmas, Mia's Prince. We will not hold you to that, right?
No,
but do you have
it was such a good
have a
movie.
favorite?
It was so good, though.
It really was. Like, I love the storyline. Like, I felt like I was like in the story, like exploring it with the Christmas story that you had, and then you kind of like brought it to life from the book to the screen, and I just love that aspect of it. And like all the movies combined just like tied in so well with each other.
Yeah. Oh, yay. I was a little with the launch of Hallmark Plus, I wasn't sure like how.
No, I didn't know how that would work at first.
Yeah, like it seems that they've tried a couple times Hallmark. They The Way Home, they were going to launch season 3 on Hallmark Plus, and then there was so much pushback. They are pretty receptive to Hallmark fans, which is a nice thing to see, because that has definitely steered them in directions, you know. Well, the formation of GAC ended up coming out of some of that, but I know that they wanted to launch, I think, the third season on there, and then they listened to fans say no, you should be airing it on the Hallmark Channel. So the ones that I got coming out right now, like that Hearts Around the Table, I thought was headed for Hallmark Plus. And then I was pleased to know that it's the Hallmark Channel. Oh my gosh, you guys have got like the things lined up.
No, I just watched Ashley's and it was so good. I loved it. And I loved like seeing you connect, and also with like having some of the same characters or people from your other films too. I was like, oh my gosh, that just worked out perfectly.
I know when I got cast, I was with my mom and I got a text message from Ashley, and she's like, "Hi Kiki," and I was like, oh my god. And I like wrote back, I'm like, are you doing this film kind of thing? And she was already a couple days into her movie. So yes, I got to reunite with Ashley, with Jake Epstein, and with Torrance Coombs as well. So yeah, that was very fun. But I'm glad that that's headed for the Hallmark Channel as well, because unfortunately, I mean, I don't know, Tara, if you were able to find it, but I don't think Unwrapping Christmas aired in Canada, which is a shame.
I know.
I was watching for it on the W Network, but it was only Hallmark Plus. So I think like Christmas in July, I think that will have the W Network and Hallmark Channel. Because I think it was such a special collection of movies that I was like, you know, I wish that they had put it onto the Hallmark Channel, just for more people to be able to kind of.
I know. I was hoping that they would
watch them.
Yeah, because there were some people asking, like, "Can we watch it?" But I think they did it as like a push to get the app.
Yes,
like, you need
I think it was to kind of push people and promote them to invest in the app, and everything. Which I feel like the app is, you know, you've got so much to be able to access on that app itself that I'm sure it's going to be successful in whichever direction they want to go, and eventually maybe that does take over from the Hallmark Channel. But I think Christmas in July, I mean, let's put it out there to the Hallmark execs, I mean, to air the Unwrapping Christmas anthology, because I think that was a very special collection of films, and it would just be a shame if not everyone was able to access it, especially we didn't see it in Canada. All my family in the UK were like, how can we see it? And I'm like, I don't know.
You had to get like a VPN. You had to like kind of get really tech savvy, and like I have friends that live in the States, so they were sending me screen grabs, like video screen grabs. They absolutely, everyone hands down. I mean, I think it's just because whatever, but they all liked our movie the best. But I mean, I think they're biased because they're my friends. They're like,
they can't afford to upset us. We know where they live.
we're the scary ones. We're very honest. If we don't like your movie,
Yeah.
we're honest with each other. I mean,
I've seen your
with
yeah.
us, we're like, I didn't like this movie.
Yeah.
Why didn't you like it? And it's because of this and this and this. Yeah. I feel the same way. I'll answer that question first. My favorite movie of last year was really hard. I went between two. I think Kirsten shares these. My favorite was The Christmas Charade.
Mhm.
That one was very
Ooh,
good.
that's a good poster. That's a really good poster.
I really did like the Christmas
Her
tree
arms so
Oh.
fit.
because it was like mystery and
Yep.
Yeah.
dance. That was a really good one.
We didn't get that in Canada. I'm just saying.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that one.
We don't have the Hallmark channel up here. We have W Network, and
Yes,
they
correct.
don't. I don't think they showed that one. What was your other one?
Christmas on Call.
Oh yes.
On
Well, I like
Call.
Christmas on Call, but
that was like Philadelphia Eagles themed.
Oh, well, they
that
just launched that Buffalo Bills
Yes,
one
and now they're doing
for
a
this
Yeah.
Bills
next year.
one. They just did the Chiefs one.
Yeah,
So it's really cool to see
Yep.
them like partnering with the NFL.
yeah.
now
I
it's time
guess
for the
it gets some
Steelers.
viewership.
Please, time for the Steelers. Give me some
Bro,
love.
wrap-
I lost my quarterbacks. I've lost everybody, and I'm done. Give me a movie, please. Let my heart heal.
Yeah.
What is yours, Kirsten? What's your favorite movie of
Ooh.
last year?
Oh my gosh, that's so hard. Well, I know that I love the new season of The Way Home. That
Yeah.
was one of the top things probably on the channel.
That'd be a show I'd like to get on as well.
Yeah, that's such a good
Manifest.
show. I liked some of the fall ones though too. There was some really good fall movies. Like Aaron Cahill's movie with Wes Brown.
Okay.
Oh, that was so good.
But I really did like Aaron Krako's Christmas movie. I'm blanking on the title of it.
Oh.
Jingle Bell Run.
Which one was it?
Jingle Ball Run?
No, wait, that was Andrews.
Oh no, Santa Tell Me.
Yes, Santa Tell Me. And there was like all these different storylines going on where you're like, oh, maybe she's gonna get with this guy. No. And there's like 3 different guys like all trying to like get her attention.
Oh, nice.
The best looking guys too, and I'm like, Ben, Chris,
Yes.
really? and every guy was named Nick. So that
Yes, all of them had
very-
to pick.
Oh, fun.
Oh, that's
So we've got to keep our Nicks in line. That's funny. Again, I don't think that one aired up here.
yeah.
I think
like
we got gypped.
On Netflix there was one where did you watch the one with Frosty where Frosty
Oh,
Hot Frosty.
Hot
Hot
Frosty.
Frosty. That was funny.
Yes, that one
Great.
was
We
funny.
were everybody like it was hilarious. And I mean obviously you had to just, you had to like kind of you're just like okay, but like it was so entertaining and I just loved it. It was so sweet.
That was filmed in Ottawa with one of the other big production companies there called One Department, who I've worked with a couple times. And so that one, when I saw that one coming out, I was like, damn.
It looked like it was filmed in Ottawa just because I had filmed there. And so you can tell,
you can see streets and, I mean, Ottawa's an amazing city. And that is one of the things about Canada when we were saying earlier about filming in the US or Canada.
Yeah.
We have so many cityscapes that can pretend to be anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really, like Hamilton. I've very rarely filmed in Toronto, but Ottawa, it's great. I've had it play New York and Chicago in one movie.
Yeah.
For Welcome to Valentine. It posed as 3 places, Nebraska as well, the rural area and stuff. Yeah. So it was Milwaukee for our film. Minneapolis.
Great.
No, Minneapolis. You guys have got this all queued up. Was it Minneapolis, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever the heck, what's Minnesota? Sorry, I feel so bad. It was Minneapolis.
Yes.
The capital. Yeah.
Yeah. It was, yes. So we do for a lot of places. Our resources are amazing. Like we can look like so many different places, except for obviously tropical. But then,
So what you're saying is we need to come up there and visit Canada because we've never been. So we need to do a meetup, right?
Yeah, like Ottawa would be great. Ottawa would be a really great place because they filmed, I think in 22 or 23, they had an article written and they filmed 125 MOW films there. 125.
Yeah.
I think it was 2022 because
Yeah.
23 was disrupted because of the strikes, but 2022 was 125 films done in
They
Oslo
did actually
and
film
surrounding.
like a really neat one where it was like all Niagara Falls themed, and you got to see them like do like the zip line next to the falls.
Nice.
Oh, was that with Jocelyn?
Yes, Jocelyn.
Yes.
And I can't remember who the co-star was.
I know. I'm trying to think who it was.
I don't even remember the ladies. Jocelyn Houdon.
I know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Houdon?
Jocelyn.
I'm not sure how to pronounce her name, actually. But she's
Yeah.
lovely. I mean, I know her through other people, so I hear great things about her.
She's the sweetest. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Max has worked with her on one, and we tried to get her on. It just didn't work out because she was just getting ready to film her Christmas movie within the next couple of weeks. So we were that close, but she said she'd come back on. It's okay. There is one show on Netflix that both of us have seen that if you two haven't seen it, I highly recommend you have to check out. Dash and Lily.
Dash and Lily. Okay. I haven't seen it.
I don't know if that's on our Canadian one, to be quite honest. Dash and Lily. I don't think I've seen that on Netflix because the countries are different. Sometimes you can access things in the States that we can't get here.
Yeah.
I'll check my. I don't have my. I don't know why I'm doing this. My TV's out there, so maybe I'll check right now.
But that one's neat. It's kind of like they take you like on a journey of like a mystery where they're trying to find different things, but then there's also like the romance element of it too. And I think Nick Jonas was like a writer for the show.
Oh wow!
So it was very
he
was either
he wrote it.
Writer.
Okay.
He wrote I think 4 episodes, and I think he mostly wrote Dash's lines because that's very Nick Jonas like. He has that type of a voice, and that beginning of that show is so sweet. They hide notes in each book, and they just hide it, so it's like a scavenger hunt, and they fall in love through that book until they meet. Probably episode 7, right, Kirsten? I think it's episode 7 that they meet.
Later on.
It's so sweet.
Sweet. I hope they have chemistry. I hope they still loved each other when they met each other. Not like sometimes with those apps and everything. When you like
catfishing
like,
with a book.
Yeah, it's like keyboard courage. You know, someone types one thing, but when you meet in person, it's like zero chemistry.
Yeah.
I wish
one of those situations. I hope.
That Netflix US and Canada should just like be one thing because it's really frustrating not to be able to get some of the stuff that you guys have, and then for you guys vice versa. Like
that's how it should be for Hallmark too.
we were so angry. We're like, when does Heartland season 18 come out here? My mom has been asking me for months, and finally I'm like, I just saw the article April 18th on Up, Faith and Family because it airs up there.
Aww.
Yeah, it airs up there, and you guys got the Love Club films. Yeah. The second set, we got those on Up, which we're supposed to go to the Hallmark Channel, but they turned it down, which was for.
Oh, interesting.
But yeah,
that's interesting. How different distributors take things.
Sometimes it goes to like different networks and doesn't always go to Hallmark. I don't know why.
Right.
I get that we're in different territories and stuff, but just sync it all up.
Yeah, because Heartland is on CBC for us, which is just a Canadian broadcasting channel. So nothing doesn't bend either which way. Politically, it doesn't do particular like romance or anything. It just shows Canadian content. And then for the Love Club, it was on the W Network just a couple weeks ago. It aired there, but inconsistency. With things.
Bring it all together, one network.
Netflix. When I was in the UK, they have Poldark. Do you know the series Poldark? It's a period piece.
Oh yes, actually,
they had the whole thing on
hard
Netflix
to find
there.
here.
So I was like, oh yeah, I can't find it here, but they had the whole thing. Whole series on Netflix. I was like, great. Not learning my lines. I'm just watching Poldark.
Well, my friend Mana, she recommended that to me, and I had a hard time finding it.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, I was like, ooh, because when Bridgerton ended, she was like, and now watch this.
Yes. You need your period hunk fit.
Yes.
It'll be that show. Adrian, I can't remember his last name. But yeah.
But it works. The whole thing is, awesome.
So is there anything else that you would like to ask us? Just anything at all?
I'm awful with questions.
How long have you guys been so cute?
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Since I've been born. No.
All right. Well, the two of you make great hosts together. So you guys are good co-hosts.
Are you guys in the same city?
No.
No, I'm in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And I'm in Ohio.
I remember Ohio.
Our states are next to each other, but I'm like to New Jersey, so I'm like east.
I'm so sorry for the question because I'm trying to think of geography. Are you guys on the same time zone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm like trying to think of where the time zone like cuts down. You must be the same as Toronto as well.
Yes.
East
Standard. Our
because
time
where
zone.
I'm at, like Toronto's like kind of like
Pennsylvania's sort of there, but then Ohio's a little bit further west.
Yeah.
Under the Great Lake, right?
Yes.
You got one of the Great Lakes in Michigan or something? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My geography's not that bad.
It's beautiful up there. Oh my God.
That was great. Those are so how long would it be? So if you wanted to visit if like Kirsten, you wanted to visit Nathan, how long would that be?
Driving?
To drive.
Let's see. You drive from where you are to Jersey, and it's about an hour 40-ish, right?
Yeah.
To go to Christmas Con?
Yeah.
You drive, Noah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. If I drove from here, New York was about 7 hours, so I just have to go a little bit south. So New York, I didn't like that drive. That was painful. So about 7 hours.
Our drive time, I think, would be 7 hours to.
Yeah.
Because we have to go either side of the Great Lake. Kind of thing.
It's about that to get down to the city center. Because New York State is a different. I mean, like that's cheating.
Yeah.
Flying Pittsburgh and all the cities too, so that would probably take a while.
Yeah.
And all that traffic. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I looked at going to Atlantic City for a concert last year. So I was like, I'll go to Atlantic City for it. But then when I saw the drive, I was like, okay, it's like 10 hours. I love the singer, but
well,
it ended up working out.
Well, our other host is actually in Connecticut. That's where the 90s Con is, right? She's in
90s Con is in Connecticut.
Yeah. And she lives in upstate New York, right by the Buffalo area. So we're
that's close to us
away.
Buffalo.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, very
so roughly about 7 hours each way.
So but have you visited each other before ever?
No.
I'm planning on it.
I like that. Road trip!
I was trying to talk to you
planning
guys at Christmas Con because I go to Christmas Con and so does the other one that hosts with us too, Amanda, and it's in New Jersey.
Yeah. When is it this year? When is Christmas Con this year?
It's December. It's like the third week of December, I think. Second or third week of
Okay,
December.
that is literally Christmas Con.
Yeah.
Because I know there's several throughout the year, everything.
This is the big one. I mean, lots of people go to it, and the biggest stars go to it. It's the most fun thing, and everybody loves it. Everybody has the most fun time, except if you go to a specific star's line, like a Chad Michael Murray or a Tyler Hines, you might need a bathroom break. It's about 4 or 5 hours per person.
Wait, what? I waited like 4 hours to meet Tyler, and when I tell you, I went to his line right when it opened. I was near the front, but I had general admission, and then there's also a VIP line. So 3 to 1. So I was waiting for like VIP to go through until I got up there, and I waited like 3 or 4 hours to meet him.
Wow!
And every time she got out of any line, I met this person. I met this person. Look at this picture. And they'll come on the podcast. I'm like, that's awesome. I wish I could be there.
Well, this year you're going.
This year.
Noah, this year you're going. I'm going to hold the line. If Kristen needs to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
2 hours into Tyler Hines, he's someone to hold the spot.
Co-host, co-bathroom.
You over here, I have to pee real quick. I've been here for 2 hours and Chad's over there. I have to pee, so come here. Yeah.
You need to get each other in like a rally. Take the baton.
We need to get both of you at Christmas Con too.
Yes, we do.
Oh,
Both
that would be like an absolute honor to be asked to do any event. Like I'm like, I don't know what I have to do in order to be able to get considered for it. But that would be amazing.
Yeah,
because Torrance Coombs, who I was working with in Kiki's Fourth Ingredient, he does several. It's not just like the Hallmark films; like he does them for Rain. He does them for.
I've seen the.
I don't know if he does one for the Tudors, but yeah, Vampire Diaries as well. So when I was working with him, he just. He's such a busy bee. He'd worked with us in June.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember if he went. I think he just went back to Vancouver, not LA. Then he was back filming his movie with Ashley in August. And then he was in somewhere in the States filming, or maybe it was Vancouver he was filming. Then that took him to Paris, France. So he was in Paris. And then he came back to film with me in Ontario. And then he was going straight on to do Pretty Little Liars Con in Florida.
Oh,
so
that's
he
so
just he said he's like, I feel so bad for my cat because his cat was with his parents pretty much for 2 months. Being like, I'm sure she thinks I've abandoned her, kind of thing. Because he flew up from LA with the cat to leave it with his parents, and then was busy working. But when the hustle's there and when you're that busy, but you're working, you're blessed to be working. It's just like, I'll take it all. Feast or famine. I'm going to feast and I'm going to just gorge as much as I can in that moment.
Why not? I feel like I did. I don't know. I'd have to I feel like I saw him at the Screen Actors Guild.
Yes.
Yeah.
Am I right? I'm right.
He ended up being part of a skit as well.
I saw him in the show. Like, wait, that's Torrance.
I was like,
it was Sarah Marshall. It was I'm forgetting Sarah Marshall, a kind of play on that. Which
that's really cool. That's
really
it was glad that he's
strangely he was working the event because he does still do some event work here and there in between. He's just busy. And it was SAG, and they're just like, okay, well, we're just gonna have him in the background. So very cool.
I thought he was part of the skit. He was part of the skit.
Yeah, he was a part of it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep. He had a line, I think, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He was at the bar.
I still posted. That's so cute. I was literally talking to him just the other day, so we were texting each other.
We'll ask him. Ask him what the deets were, because that was really cool. I was like,
he did mention something. He said forgetting Sarah Marshall, but that was a few weeks ago when I was talking to him about that. But
that's fun. Well,
we were giggling about stuff the other day. He's so funny. He's such a sweet guy.
That's awesome.
But Cindy also goes to all the Christmas Con events too, so it'd be cool to have all the girls there from the movie.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Cindy is a very, very established Hallmark. She is Hallmark, I think. One of the most recognizable faces. So and understandable completely why she's featured at those events.
But everyone
the hotliner, she's like Andrew Walker, you see his face on it, it's like everyone's going. Literally. Or Tyler Hines. Or a little Canadian there. As well. Little Canadian getting in.
I loved her in the cabin with Jake. That was so cool. I love that vibe, and that was a great one too.
Cindy's great, but who's the real star here, Kirsten? Who's the real star of her family?
Suze, her dog.
Oh, the dog.
Suze.
We didn't get to meet Suze when she came back up to film. For the crossover, but Suze had come up for the shoot of her film, and then she also brought her up for the not When Hope Calls. No, When Hope Calls. Yeah, sorry. When Calls the Heart, I get them intermixed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know that she had Suze with her up in North Bay for that.
Oh.
Which is nice because she was up there for quite a while. So the dog had a Canadian winter, which I doubt it has ever experienced.
Yeah.
She was not happy, but oh my God, she went on set every day, and everyone's like, "Hi, Cindy, but where's Susie?
Oh,
where's Suze?"
They were like that with me on the set. I had to do a pickup day with Torrance in December for our movie, and the first day you arrive, it's been sort of 2 weeks since I'd been wrapped out, and so I was sort of like, "Hey guys, like we thought we were saying goodbye, we're back together." And they're like, "You didn't bring your dog? Like, what about Teddy? Where's Teddy?
Okay, but where's your dog?"
Yeah, but I didn't know that Teddy was. I mean, I would have brought Evie because she didn't get to come to Midland, but I didn't think about it. They're like, "Oh, so disappointed in you." They didn't want me. They wanted my dogs.
We love you, Kat, but where's the dogs at?
Where's the dogs?
They're the most important piece of this puzzle here. I mean, come on.
They are, though.
But where would we be without our dogs?
I know.
I'd have a little bit more money, but it's okay.
Yes.
But, so, did you have anything else that you would like to ask us before we move into the other things?
Not that I can think of right now, but if something pops up, I shall interject
Yeah.
in a polite fashion. But I will say, "Aha!"
Aha. With your finger up too.
Yeah. Absolutely, thought of one. Ding ding.
I love that.
What is your next thing? What is the next thing?
I'm gonna shut up. So I'm letting her just take the reins here, because I got to speak with you about most of these films, but we're just gonna go after two of them. Okay. We're gonna start off with Welcome to Valentine first.
Aha. Yes. Oh no. Now I feel like I'm on the spot with Nathan, because I was like Rolodex. Like I've got to go back and remember this experience. Got it. Okay.
It was such a cute movie. It's actually probably my favorite Valentine's one that they've ever done on Hallmark. I just love like the whole theme of like going to the town that was all Valentine's Day themed. So what kind of was that experience like being on set and just like having all that around you and working with Mark?
It was again, any experience working on a MOW Christmas themed or Valentine's themed movie is magical. It was strange to switch out like Christmas baubles for heart-shaped stuff. So that kind of throws you a little bit. It was very cold. We were filming very late November into mid-December. So there were days that Mark Ian and I were out in like minus 17. We're just like, we're just gonna, because you're never, despite it being a film that's supposed to be set in February, you're never warm enough. You're never, I mean, they do their best to keep you, you'll have hot pads in your pockets. They were putting kind of hot vests around your body as well, and you're trying your best to stay warm. That was working with one department who I had worked with before, and it's just an incredible team. Really, wonderful. Every department. I had an amazing hair and makeup team there as well. The good thing about Ottawa is that it is a small enough industry that you get people that share across. So our hair and makeup for Unwrapping, Ali, I actually met her when she did a daily, just a single day on Welcome to Valentine like a year before. So when I worked with her on Everything Puppies, I was like, I remember you. Like, we did Welcome to Valentine together. So that was really nice. And then I got to reunite with them. It was just such a fun experience. It was lovely to be able to fit something in before the end of the year as well. Yeah. I got to reunite with Stefan Brogren, who is Degrassi alumni, but also just got nominated for a Canadian Screen Award for directing. He does quite a few thriller horror films. So he just got nominated for one of his movies. But he, ironically, my first ever paid TV role was playing a diner waitress in a show that was called Open Heart. And it was by the same production company, Epitome Pictures, that did Degrassi for years, and he was directing. And I remember I had 3 lines, and I was nervous as heck. I'll say like hell. I was so nervous, and so you want to get it right. And I come from a theater background, so I was like, every single word that you say, there's a reason behind it. You're embodying everything, and I'm just supposed to relay information purely to the lead female so that she can find her dad. And I remember doing a take, and like, oh my stomach was churning. I was like hot sweats, like I'm sure I sweated through my shirt. And then I just hear from the other side of the room, over the back of a wall, and I just hear him go like, Kathryn, let's go again, just throw it away. And as an actor, you're like,
oh no,
oh my God, I've done all of this work and I've embodied this, and oh my God, and you work yourself up into such kind of a tiz that when he's like, throw it away, you're just like, okay, what? And so you have that panic moment. You're just like, okay, just throw it away. Yeah. And it is one of the hardest things to do. To do less is so much harder in this medium itself. But you can always tone back. It's harder to pull performance out. That's what I've just learned from being at theater school. Like, it's harder to pull something out of an actor than it is to like present options for the director, and they can tailor and be like, roll this back, pull this forward. You know what I mean? But yes, that was my first experience with Stefan on that set, and then roll forward, I guess about 8 years later, and I'm in my wardrobe fitting, and it was still pretty, they were pretty strict about COVID. Like, I was being tested 3 times a week, so I was masked, and he walked in the room, and he's very tall. He's like 6'3", lovely, so funny, and he's got 2 dogs, and one's a Chihuahua with no teeth called Shorty, who comes to set, and the other one is called RoboCop. And it's this little Pomeranian. And Shorty and RoboCop do not get on. They are arch enemies. And RoboCop was with his wife filming in Europe, or working on a project in Europe, and Shorty was on set. So the dog actually featured in the film is Shorty, is his dog. So I remember him walking in, and he was like, "Hi, nice to meet you." And I said to him, I was like, "I've actually worked with you before, mate. You directed me in an episode of Open Heart." And he's like, "Oh my, yes, but your hair was straight in that." I was like, "Yeah." And so then the first day on set, we were filming in a diner, and he just came up to me and was just so disgusting. I was like, full circle. I'm in a diner, but I'm playing the number one, whereas I started as a diner waitress 8 years before with him directing me. So that was just, full circle. And it's just, you're showing up, you're having fun with the crew and the cast every day. Marquine and I, we grabbed dinner before we went into production, which was really nice to kind of be able to get to know him a little bit before. So he'd been flown in from Vancouver for that. He was just moving down to LA in the weeks following with us wrapping and stuff. So yeah, it was such a lovely experience. And my dogs came to set on that one in snow like that deep, and they just sat in my trailer trying to keep warm. But yeah, also, Welcome to Valentine was fun.
Yeah, that was such a cute movie. And speaking of dogs, this one's kind of more of a fun one. What was it like getting to work with the puppies and everything puppies?
Oh, it was amazing. At first, they were quite restricted about being able to touch the puppies because they hadn't been vaccinated. They were that young.
Oh, okay.
So they were quite strict at first. But then when we were filming the scene when Pascal's sort of out in the grass and all depressed and like, oh, my life is falling apart, and the puppies get all over her. That scene, it ended up being that I just, by happenstance, when we were working through sort of the blocking, that I picked up a puppy, and it was a different one each time. So don't look at the color of the collars, but I picked up one with a purple collar, and we were actually moving on. Like we'd already got all the shots and everything, but this little one just. And I have pictures of it. I called her Violet because of purple color, but she just sat in my arm, like just cradled right here for a couple of hours. I was like, as long as no one figures out that I'm not supposed to touch the puppies, that was fun. And then I got to reunite with the dog that played my dog in the collie. Is she a collie? I feel so bad. I'm actually blanking on the dog's name. I feel like it's Willow or something. I'm ashamed because she's been my dog twice because she played Cindy's dog in the Unwrapping Christmas.
Oh, then it had
on my back.
Did it have different eyes? Different color eyes?
Yeah, it's like an Australian Shepherd.
Yeah.
He jumped on my back in Cindy's film.
I was there for that.
She played my dog like 6 months before on the other production. But they don't let you go near the dogs, like the Wranglers. They have to keep them separate because otherwise there'll be just too much distraction. If there's too much interaction, I think maybe it exhausts the dog, or they have to be pretty strict as to who deals with them so that they're obedient on set.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, as much as I'm a dog fan, it has to be like Wrangler, doing the commands and so forth.
Also too, Kat, I heard, because I think you were saying how freezing that set was.
Oh yeah, you know what? That day was fine with the puppies all around, but we had one of the days when we're supposed to be standing outside the pet shop. That was a really, really cold day, and I actually wore my own jacket for that scene itself, and that jacket is not warm enough. I think it was when we were first working on the film, it was supposed to be a fall themed movie for release the following fall, because I think we were filming again mid-November. And then we showed up on the day that we had like a little bit of snow overnight, and then we were supposed to film the scene in the park where we're out running, being like, come on Pascal, I'm gonna pick you up, let's go and think and go for a run, because that's what I do. I run. And we were jogging and we showed up on set and there was snow, and we're like, ooh, they're just gonna have to frame it slightly higher to avoid the snow. And then we showed up and they were setting up some of the set, and there were flowers, like spring flowers, and they're like, so the specs have changed and this is going to be a spring film release instead. We're like, oh, okay. I mean, the coats kind of still work for spring. Maybe they're a little bit too heavy, but we'd already shot all the stuff with the puppies all over Pascal, and there were leaves everywhere. So we're like, okay, whatever you say, it's spring. We'll roll with it. We'll roll with it, sort of thing. So yeah, that was another cold set. And I filmed in like February and April. It's even cold in April to film Christmas movies and stuff. So yeah, give me a summer flick anytime. I'd rather like sweat profusely.
Maybe you need like
every day.
Like film in Hawaii or somewhere.
I would
Guam or
honestly, when some of those movies come out, like they had one that was in Greece. I feel like Hunter did one that was in Europe. And then they
she did one in Hawaii too.
Yeah. And then they had like Brittany Bristow did one in Prague. And I think Ashley Newber was in that one too. And I was like, Love on the Danube or something. I'm like, how do I get these?
I know.
Like, talk about on location. I mean, I was lucky. I got to film in England last year. But I was like, how do I get one of these projects that films over and like hungry? Incredible. Yeah. Amazing. Please, I'll manifest that. Vancouver and that this year.
It's happening. It's happening. This is like the magic channel.
It is.
Yes.
Magic podcast. So we get whatever we want.
Yeah.
So just throw it out to the universe. That's
it. It goes.
And we know some people. So I mean, we know a writer, some directors, we know some costumers, we know some actors. We can do it, or I write the script. And we just go, we're going to say,
just pick on a globe.
Let's just go to
Maldives,
Spain, or somewhere nice, very, very warm and never too cold with no snow.
Exactly.
Okay, so the last one that I have.
Okay.
And then we can talk about anything and ask anything. Let's get into the new stuff. Let's get into the hearts around the table and how you got this movie, and how did you shoot these? Did you shoot these first, second, third, fourth, or did you shoot these out of order in the series?
Yes. So this one, I was very lucky to have got a phone call from my agent saying like, oh, this movie offer is coming up. It is with a company called Brainpower Studio, who I'd worked with numerous times. So I was like, yay! You know, I hadn't worked with them since late 2022. So I was very excited to be able to go back and see all of that, see who was still there, you know, like, because they do, the wonderful thing about this production company is they foster talent up through. So whether that's in front of the camera or behind. So probably my first role in a Hallmark style romance, I was playing a mean princess, and it was with them. And then when I met Lynette, anytime I worked with Lynette, it was with them. So they fostered me up through into my first lead role. Same with crew as well. They Amy Force, that's how I've worked with Amy Force, the director, so many times, was we were teaming up with Brainpower Productions. And so I was really excited to go back in because I, as soon as I got the call sheet, you know, I was seeing that, you know, who was there, and it's amazing seeing the growth of people within that company too, because the guy that I met on one of my first experiences was now producer on this production. So they really do keep the talent and foster it up and keep it within like a home base of this company. So that's when I got the text message from Ashley being like, hi, Kiki. I'm like, oh. So I knew it was, I knew I was with Ashley. I can't remember. I don't remember when they gave me the rundown as to who was who, like who was each love interest. They were, oh yeah, you know what? They hadn't cast, Torrance was in talks, but they hadn't kind of cemented it down. So there were whisperings when I showed up on set. They're like, yeah, it could be Torrance, but we're still kind of working it through. I'm like, oh, cool, sort of thing. So it was the executive producer telling me that. But yeah, this production, it was filmed in sequence, which was nice. So first movie, second movie, third, fourth. There were days, so I did, it was maybe a little bit of a confusing, you had to be able to like read through a call sheet, definitely, and their, or what do they call it? Their one-liners, which is like lays out what the shoot schedule is going to be, because we filmed third and fourth at different times, in between each other, I should say. So there would be like 3 days on the third film, and then they do 2 days on mine, and then it would be back to the third film, and then it would be a few days on mine. So it was a little bit confusing because it was sort of in and out of the worlds quite a bit. But yeah, the first movie started filming in September. We wrapped Michelle's film, so Sherry's second act, we wrapped that just before Thanksgiving, for Canadian Thanksgiving. So October 8th, I think it was. And then after Thanksgiving, like we had a week off for prep, and then we were going into third and fourth together. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. That we were pretty much, I would say we were led by Mindy Cohn, who, this was her first sort of dalliance into Hallmark movies herself. Wow, like talk about an icon, and seeing how she worked. She's a director, she's a producer, she's an actor. Watching her brain work and her graciousness was something that was so incredible to watch. A woman that has literally been in Hollywood since about 12 years of age.
Oh, wow.
And she was back and forth. She was going on to do the next season of Palm Royale. Like, she's so grounded. She's so warm and open-hearted and loving. And so the schedule was kind of moved a little bit around because she was back and forth from LA. And unfortunately, her dad passed away during the production itself. She was luckily with him. So she got to spend those days with him, but literally within 2 days, she was back up filming. And that was really sad. She's a champion. She just came back to set, had her quiet moments when she needed them. But I remember seeing her, and I just gave her a hug, you know. I think it was a nice sort of distraction for her coming back in and filming with, you know, we'd already been working together for 6 weeks at that point. So I think that was nice for her to come into. But then by the end of the shoot, you know, it was time for her to kind of go home and figure some stuff out with her sister and her mom and everything. But yeah, such a fun experience. I worked with Marco Dufamier on that one. And that was my first long experience working with him. He'd done a couple days on Santa's Got Style in 2022. But yeah, he's a blast. Oh, he's so funny. I know how to kind of, I'm sort of like the little sister for him, because there were things that, you know, I don't know, I would say something on set and he's like, I don't know if I want to kiss you on the forehead or give you an uppercut. I was like, I don't know. We just, our personalities, it was just like sibling rivalry, and he'd just be like, oh, shut up, Kat. It was so much fun itself. But yeah, that we wrapped in November, but then we had a couple pickup days just to smoothen out some storylines and everything. And yeah, that's airing. Like Sherry's second act is airing tomorrow on W Network. We do have it in Canada this time.
Oh, amazing!
Hallmark Channel.
That's so good.
And then Jake's story with Stephanie Bennett is out next Saturday. I think it's the 5th. And then the week after that, the 12th, is myself and lovely Torrance Coombs.
Yeah.
Who was so lovely. Like, I kind of had a little bit of a fan moment with him, because
so nice.
Again, I didn't know, I knew who the lead females were, but I didn't know who the males were. And then when I saw, like, in the trailer, when they were starting to pin up the makeup trailer, information about the actors and so forth, I was like, Torrance Coombs? And I grew up watching The Tudors, and I'd auditioned for Rain, and I knew he was on it for, so I was sort of like, oh my God, Howard. And I was texting my brother being like, I'm working with Torrance Coombs. And then when I met him, he's just so laid back and so chill. And then, you know, so I got over my fangirling a little bit. And then luckily, yeah, we got cast with each other on this film. And so it was just like, it was just hanging out with a really great friend for, you know, 3 weeks on and off sort of thing.
He was so nice on Unwrapping Christmas, like super nice, and like, 'cause we had those 4 scenes at the gala, so like 4 separate times for the 4 movies, and he was just hilarious, fun, like really kind, and like all the things. So yeah,
and takes the pressure off, because sometimes when you see someone's resume, you kind of go, oh my gosh,
I didn't know.
You know, it's intimidating, but he's so not. And same with Mindy Cohn as well. Like, you meet them and you're just like, you're human. Like, you're just, you know, whatever going on up here in my head is just not what is relayed when you meet the human standing in front of you.
No, I didn't know that either. The only reason I knew was because a friend of mine went to theater school with him in Vancouver.
Oh, no way.
It's like, oh, you worked with Tori. I was like, huh? And she's like, oh, he was on Rain and all that. And I was like, oh. And then I looked at it. I was like, oh, shoot. Well, very nice. And I had no, like, just so down to earth. Really cool. So, yeah.
Yeah, he's very sweet human. So I'm saying good things about you, Torrance. Be kind to me.
I'm literally sure you guys, like, were so good together. Like, because you're a thrill to work with. So
thank you. Oh my gosh, the one day, bless his heart, we had to do a pickup in mid-December, and I had the text from my agent's assistant being like, okay, they're looking at some dates. I think it was on the Tuesday, and they were like, it could be Friday or it could be Monday. And I'm like, I'm open, like, you know, whatever they need. I mean, like, if I have an ADR or something for the other films, I'll just reschedule. I guess communication was a little challenging on that one, because I knew 2 days before Torrance was told. He was literally told within hours of having to board a flight from Vancouver to Toronto. Or no, was he flying in from LA? He might have been LA, actually. You know, I think he'd gone home by then. And so I'd known on the Tuesday, and I think we were maybe shooting the Friday. So he found out Thursday afternoon that he had to be on a flight to Toronto for like midnight. So he was arriving at like 4 a.m. sort of thing, or 8 a.m. in the morning, our side, after the 4-hour flight. He was such a champion, because we were waiting for our call sheets. I was like, I need to know what time I need to be up in the morning. You know, easier for me. I had the easy commute. I'm an hour and a half away from the set. He's, you know, the other side of the continent. And finally got the call sheet through, which Torrance didn't. So I had to email it to him. And then we got our lines. So I was just trying to learn the lines at sort of 8 o'clock at night, being picked up at 6 o'clock in the morning the next day. And so I was pretty much off book. I was off book for, I think it was 12 pages of pickup that we had to do. So 4 different scenes. When I arrive, I'm sitting in the chair. I'm like chatting to my hair and makeup girls, Taylor, and all of a sudden, I just, by happenstance, I got my call sheet like in front of me, my sides, and I start looking through, and I'm like, these are different lines. This is different lines. Oh my God. So they had a rewrite overnight, which I didn't know. And so I'm like frantically trying to learn the lines. And then Torrance is rolling in with like 3 hours of sleep. And I'm like, Torrance, the lines are different. So we had to, it was a challenge, which I've had the absolute, it has been a nightmare situation that I have imagined multiple times of showing up on set and having rewrites given to you at that moment. And then you have to show up and get it right in a minimal number of takes, because we had to move on. We had to make the day. And we know what, we just faced the challenge, him with incredible jet lag, and managed to do all of the scenes with the rewrites plus an additional scene, which they just did on the fly as well. And we're literally changing our wardrobe, and I had to do my hairstyle and everything for this pickup scene. And I had to say, like, can I get the sides? Like, can I actually know what we're supposed to be saying in this scene? And Torrance said, yeah, that would be great, as he's tucking his shirt in. And so we had literally 2 minutes to learn the lines, and then we had to shoot, and then we were out. So that was a pretty crazy day. And Torrance just took it in his stride. Honestly, I don't know how he managed to do that on 3 hours of sleep. Insane.
Well, you guys are pros, so yeah.
So you just make it happen.
yeah. And then maybe the jet lag and the no sleep helped his cause. Maybe he was like, his brain was like, okay, I can do this. Right?
Yeah. I don't know. Somehow we managed to fit it all in. So
amazing. Well, are you excited to see it?
Yeah, I am. I'm excited. I'm curious to see how they managed to do the cooking scenes without. I had to be told, like, Torrance and Marco had to kind of teach me how to cut, and they're like, you know, you have to have your fingers curled like this, like not that, because you could. And I was sort of like, I looked so. I don't know. It's gonna look interesting. I couldn't cut a bell pepper in one of the scenes, and they were supposed to be doing an insert on our hands, and I know my face is not on camera. It's not cutting. It's just. Can I start again? I am not a cook, we shall say, but
yeah, because with knives, you gotta keep the knife like on the
on the board.
Yeah, on the board, and then you like, and then
so I can't imagine what a show like The Bear would have been like to film.
So many burns, and all that cussing. That was not the script.
No. Kiki kept it PG. Kiki kept it Hallmark. I was just like, don't film my face, because I was like laughing. So I'm like, I can't cut. So, but I'm hoping, like, I haven't seen much of it in the ADR. There, I haven't seen much. But yeah, I'm excited, and I think the follow through storyline it's different from the Unwrapping, where we all had our kind of our own films, and then we were interweaving. We're all involved in each other's stories this time around. Like the siblings, we all have the family suppers on Sunday, so the siblings are all hearing. There's more investment, I suppose, with the characters into one another's lives. We're more interwoven versus the Unwrapping, where we're of course appearing, and we're in scenes where we're asking one another about, like, oh, you know, how's it going with this guy, kind of thing. They're not so kind of insulated, the storylines, so it's a lot more interwoven.
Cool.
The characters. So, and I think that'll be fun for audiences to see, and it'll be interesting to see, like, you know, the carry through of the characters and the personalities and so forth as they carry through for the 4 films themselves. So I hope you guys enjoy them.
To see it.
Well, girls, I don't know if we've looked at the clock, but this has gone very long. But this has been a joy.
Kudos to anyone that listens to the end. Like, well done. Because we blabber, like, we are chatterboxes. So thank you to anyone that has gotten to this point of a podcast to listen to the end of us.
I almost joked. I was like, wait. Cindy's was an hour and 44 minutes, and I almost joked. I'm like, Kat, she kind of broke your record, but you took it back over.
Yeah, you took it back. Woo!
So the next time that Cindy's on, we need both of you on, and we can have it for like 3 or 4 hours. And we'll just be here.
It'll be days. If it's me and the Busby, we will just be talking. So she's
live on the Heartful Hallmark channel.
Yeah.
Fully live for 3 days. Meal after meal. Yeah. So you're doing good. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, but we'll have the pee breaks, so we'll have them put in bathroom breaks. Someone will hold my line, like my spot. Teddy, I'll come and sit on the spot. Yes. You know, see, it's like Christmas con. We got you.
Exactly.
Good callback.
Exactly. So this was awesome, Nathan. We wish you could have been here the whole entire time, but work is work, and you gotta make that green. We got us. But we'll get you on again. We'll do a full on interview with you. But I had the pleasure of being with 3 beautiful women for an hour and a half all by myself. So that was fun for me. that was great for me. Awesome night.
Very sweet.
But where can we find you guys on social media?
Go ahead.
You go. We're too accommodating. I always find that it always feels like the most pretentious name, but it's because my name is Kathryn Davis. So it is, I can't say on IMDb, I'm Kathryn Davis the 8th. So my Instagram handle is at _, my first name, Kathryn, KATHRYN _Davis, DAVIS. And I guess I don't really have other social medias. I have a website, KathrynDavisOfficial.com. There you go.
Yay.
And over to my gorgeous sister.
Why, thank you, sister. So at The Real Snow White. The real as in REEL, because you gotta keep it fun and geeky. So that's me. And Snow White with a Y instead of an I. And it's just a little bit of a nickname. So there's a couple of reasons why, but that's for another time. That's another story, another time, why it's that. So it's okay.
Love it. Well, thank you so much for hosting us and for working with us, because I know that this has been in the making for a couple months to figure out schedules and find a time that all 3 of us were available. And then it got a date, and then Nathan's like, I can only do an hour. So thank you guys for sticking with us and for putting us together as well. Even thinking of having us back on as a trio for the Unwrapping Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a dream, and we can't wait to do a lot more of these very, very soon. Kathryn, I know you probably have some stuff in the pipeline, maybe. I know you probably can't say anything about what you have coming up.
I don't know. Is this a situation where you know more than I do?
I've been told that there's another series coming soon, so we're just going to swerve away before I get my podcast in trouble.
I'm going to get on the phone with my poor dog. I just woke him up with my friend.
Oh, no.
He's like, excuse me? I'm going to get on the phone with my agent and be like,
Mom.
Yo, what's happening?
Yeah.
Well, intrigued.
We will find
honored
out.
If it is that they decide. I mean, there's so much talent out there that I'm very blessed whenever I get the opportunity to work. So if it does end up working that way, I'm very grateful for it. But that'd be great. But at the same time, I'm like, I'll take it as it comes.
And as always, guys, we're the Heartful of Hallmark podcast. I'm Noah, and this is Kirsten. And one thing we didn't tell you, this is no longer on my channel. You guys are the first interview on our new YouTube channel, Heartful of Hallmark. So you're kicking it off.
Oh, wicked.
And that's exciting.
An honor.
And as always, guys, like and subscribe and keep your heart full of Hallmark.